Alright guys, back at it again. Amigos Motorsports. Installing some speakers on my boat, 22 Party Cat, Advantage Party Cat. So I just wanted to show you what I did. I already installed them, but I just wanted to show you guys. I see a lot of Party Cats that don't have speakers on the rear section of their boats. So I installed this speaker right here and this one right there. So those two speakers. And I'll show you what I did. I have a video of cutting and measuring and doing the sketchy part of drilling the hole in your boat. So I'll go through it. I'll show you what I did inside and how I hooked it to the amp. I already had existing amps, and all I did was I installed a switch on the inside to switch from two speakers that are playing inside to two speakers that are playing outside, and you hit the switch, plays the speakers outside, and hit the switch back and it plays inside. So these are a Polk Audio marine grade 6.5s, which I already had installed inside. This boat's got about 12 speakers, I think now 13. Let's get going. I'll show you exactly what I did. Okay, first we had to center the holes. I wanted to center them from here to the top, so like this section, right? So once we put the mock-up on the boat with the blue tape, we just did a blue tape with some cardboard and cut the holes from behind the speakers. It didn't look right. Once I backed up, it didn't look good when it was centered from here to here. Now it centered it in this portion of the boat, but the name is a little tiny bit above this line to the top. See how much gap there is here, and here there's a little bit bigger of a gap. So I wanted to make it look proportionate to the name, and they look good, better right where they sit. All right, so that was one thing I wanted to mention to you guys. Mock this thing up and then take a look at it, stand back, because it took us a couple times to put them in the correct location. Okay, so here's what it looks like from the inside. The holes were like cut exactly perfect for those speakers. We used a piece of cardboard that the speakers that it came with, so it made it a little bit easier to cut the holes and make them straight. Here's the other speaker. So you got to make sure there's nothing back here first that it's gonna hit. And these are slim speakers, so they don't have big magnets on the back, but they still have a lot of juice. So that's kind of why I like these speakers. That's gonna be hard to fix, or no? The foam would be good for these because the water.
Yeah, water can get in there.
Over
Yeah.
this shit. Like, these are gonna get wet.
Perfect fit the first cut, motherfuckers.
Okay, so these are wired in series. Okay, so you can look up how to wire speakers in series, but what happens is it only creates one wire going to the amp. So it's the positive wire on this speaker to the negative wire on this speaker, and then the negative wire on this far speaker to this positive wire. Okay, so I hung up all the wire up here. I know it looks shitty, but I didn't have anywhere else to put it. There's nothing else back here to connect the wire to. I gotta cut that zip tie actually. But so what happens is one wire, this wire right here, I put it back into this wire loom here, it goes to the amp. Okay, so if you want to know how to wire speakers that are in series, look it up on YouTube. There's a ton of videos. It also helps with your ohms. So parallel will give you less ohms and series will give you more ohms, and you kind of want more ohms because it keeps your amp a little bit healthier, especially when you have 13 speakers on your boat. It'll help with the power. And then I tested the decibel level. The decibel level that it outputs is the same exact decibel output that the other speakers are outputting. And that's kind of all that really matters. It's putting out the same amount of listening power with less juice used from the amp. And on a boat, that's exactly what you want. You don't want a bunch of power being put out, right? Okay, let me show you what I did at the amp. Okay, so this switch, it was like an accessory switch. It wasn't really connected to anything. Okay, here's all my the tools that I use on the boat, power pump, lights. So this switch wasn't connected to anything, so I removed it and I added this switch. Okay, it's on switch, so it's on the right, on the left. Okay, so essentially inside speakers, 2 of them, outside speakers. Here are the 2 speakers. There's one here and one on the other side of the captain's chair. So these are on when we're in the boat. When we're outside floating or whatever, hanging out, the 2 speakers over here are on. Right? These 2 speakers are on out here when those are not on. Okay, and so when we get back in and take off, I hit the switch, the speakers inside are on again. That was my idea from the very beginning, and it wasn't that easy to do, but once I figured it out, I wanted to show you guys so someone else can do it. Okay, not the best wiring in here, but it's fairly decent. Okay, so I used these channels here on the left to run these wires. So okay, so this goes to the switch. Okay, here's the switch. This is the middle switch. This gives power to the switch for this side and this side. Okay, this is just for the sake of saying what it is. This is the outside speaker, this is the inside speaker. This is the power that goes to both. When you hit this switch to either side, this is giving whatever side you switch to power. Okay, I ran that middle power to here. I use this one. This is one channel. This one channel right here is being used for all 4 speakers, but not at the same time, right? Only 2 at the same time. And remember, in the back, I made it 1 wire coming from the 2 speakers that are on the back rear of the boat. That 1 wire is right here. So now I only have 3 wires going into this negative. Okay, this is the negative side of the channel. This is the positive side. This positive side goes to the switch. So that's how I ran it. This goes to speaker inside, or what? These 2. This goes to speaker outside, positive. This goes to speakers inside, negative. These were already wired, so I didn't change it to a single wire. I still can I can run these in series if I want. So I can really only have 2 wires in here if I really wanted to, but all the speaker wire was ran for those 2, so I just kind of put them together and stuck them in there and they fit. So single wire to switch. These are the negatives going to the speakers. 1 single wire running to the rear speakers, power. 2 power wires running to the 2 6x9s right here on the captain's chair. Power going to the amp. That's this one. Okay, it powers the switch. And that's how I ran the wires and got everything to work correctly. If you have any questions, let me know. Like and subscribe. I don't do a ton of videos, but I try to don't see on YouTube as much, and make it easier for people to get this done. And I do see a lot of Advantage party cats without speakers on the rear. And when I was back there hanging out at the river or wherever, in the channel or wherever we're at in Havasu, it'd be cool to have speakers back there. So I cut some holes, and I'll show you what the holes look like and how we did it. It's a little bit sketchy, but you have to have some balls to cut a hole in your boat and make sure only the captain gets to cut the holes. Plus, nobody else wants to cut holes in your boat because it's freaking sketchy. But it came out good, as you can see. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you. The foam would be good for these because the water.
Yeah, water can get in there.
All over
Yeah.
this shit. Like these are gonna get wet.
Perfect fit the first cut, motherfuckers.
6 gauge.